Who's better between Eric Cantona and Forensics Puskas? Well, we're gonna figure that out in this video, as this is going to be a 2-in-1. Not only a player review and a player comparison, so you can figure out whether or not you should buy one of these cards and which one is better of the two. We'll be using multiple categories to compare these cards, so pay attention throughout the video. Now, before we get into the very important information throughout this video, look at this. If you are looking to buy cheap and safe and reliable coin, go over to U7Buy and use code CV3 on U7Buy for 8% off. Link is in the description or link is in the comments to get cheap and safe coins so you can get the cards you want in the game to have fun. CV3. So first, let's talk about the price. Now, put it this way for Eric Cantona. Imagine sprinting full speed with Eric Cantona and he's going against your local librarian. Oh, he's gonna leave them in the dust. No chance. Because that librarian is probably on their 80th chapter of a book that no one knows about. But it is what it is. But then put Eric Cantona against a capable defender with decent pace in any way, trying to get in behind with him, and he will struggle like I couldn't believe it. This guy could not really get in behind. He does not have quick step or rapido. So if you're trying to get in behind with Eric Cantona, a lot of the times, he couldn't do it for me. I ain't gonna lie. I don't really like that with the pace. But what about Puskas pace? Now look at here. This is how I would put it with Puskas. Trying to get in behind with Puskas, I thought, is this the second cousin of the Flash? Because oh my word, this guy was getting in behind like a madman, sprinting with tremendous speed. He has quick step regular, and rapido regular, don't come and cellular. So his pace was actually pretty good. To be honest, better than most. So I would say for the pace, I'm giving it to Puskas. Now these are strikers, so shooting is the most important thing that we'll get to later on. So make sure you stay for that because it's very important. But you can have all the pace in the world, but at some point you're gonna have to stop and do a little bit of that twist and turn, which would be dribbling. And the dribbling for Puskas, let me put it this way. Have you ever had the opportunity to find a nice blue, I hope it's not green, swimming pool and said, ooh, I'm about to dive in that swimming pool, and then you're just smoothly gliding in the water? If I can explain Puskas, smooth sailing, because this guy feels smooth on the ball, smooth, and he's just sailing through. It feels like so responsive with him. He could do a little bit of that twist and turn, although he doesn't have 5-star skill moves, which is a little bit of a knock. Because it's so responsive with his dribbling, I didn't find too much of an issue with it. But what about Eric Cantona's dribbling? Now looky here. What you have to realize in this game of FC, for FIFA's for many years now, when a player is over 6'1", or maybe even 6 foot, they enter the category of a biggity. So they feel a little bit heavy. They can't really do a little bit of that twist and turn like you would like them to do. But there are some exceptions to the rule, and Eric Cantona is not one of them. This guy cannot do a little bit of that twist and turn like I like to do. It felt like he was responsive, but then for a second, he was stepping the deepest level of mud, making things move unresponsive and responsive at the same time, messing you up, which is what I did not like. So for the dribbling ability, I'm gonna have to give that to Puskas. But now we gotta shift to something that's quite important in the game of football, which is passing. You need that ball to get into your other players to give you more attacking opportunity. With Puskas, I didn't find many issues. It was top tier. He was still able to pass it in certain areas, especially he has long ball as well. So the over the tops are very nice if you first time over the top into your other attacker. But with Eric Cantona, I found that his passing was also nice. There's not too many issues. You can also do the first time over the tops with him. Their passing are both basically on the same level, no issues. Now, what about the defensive capabilities for these strikers? Now look at here. One thing you have to realize is being able to press up top with a striker can be very nice, but come a little closer. I don't give a damn about no damn defense. They're attackers. So now let's talk about the physicality. Now look at here. Eric Cantona is a biggity, and that's where normally they have the advantage when it comes to the physicality. So let's just start with Puskas. Let me help you understand how it feels using Puskas with physicality. Do you know what a sleeper build is? I'm assuming, yeah. This dude will come in with hefty clothing, baggy like a mofo. You'll think he's a small mofo. And then you take off that shirt and this dude is ripped, looking like he eats nothing but protein bars and is in the gym non-stop. Just don't ever stop. Because I found this guy was very strong in moments. He wasn't easy to body off the pilota, and he could hold his own. He would even disrupt some of the center backs winning in the air. Now he's not the best with that because he's a little bit shorter and his jumping isn't crazy, but it's still solid physicality. But what about Eric Cantona? Now for his physicality, I found he's a biggity. So if you get near another player that's strong as well and tall, he can hold his own just as well. Sometimes even make them stumble. But I found as well that moments where he should still win the ball in the air for a header, to pass the ball, he can still fail you. Eric Cantona shocked me in those moments. But overall, I can't say his physicalities is otherworldly like that. I would actually make it a draw between him and Puskas. But it is now the moment we've all been waiting for. These are strikers, so can they put the ball into the back of the net like no other? Let's start with Eric Cantona. The best way I can describe his shooting and clinicality ability is this way. You ever been to different restaurants that basically sell the same food? Let's use pizza for example. We got different pizza company. One pizza company tastes mad delicious, and another one is doo-doo with her name on it. Now you're like, where are you going with this? Well, with his shooting ability, there are times where you can shoot the ball and you're like, this may be the best striker in the world. And there are other times where, oh my goodness, this guy's an absolute bozo. What are you doing? And that's how I feel with Eric Cantona. I feel like there are times where he can shoot the ball and score like a crazy guy, but then he'll be hitting the post when it should be going to the back of the net. He'll be shooting with the right foot instead of the left foot when he's in the right position to shoot it, because he is a 5-star weak foot player. So you can shoot with both feet. He had bozo-like moments like that. But overall, his clinicality ability is still pretty good because he doesn't even have the finesse like Messi playstyle. Only Trivela and power shot, which is very nice. Make sure you spam them power shots with this guy. It will help you for sure, for sure. But Puskas, on the other hand, let me explain it with this guy. He's basically the pizza restaurants as well. But this time you're only going to the ones you know that you already like instead of just trying the other one. Because Eric Cantona, you keep going to the different restaurant. With Puskas, once you've had those restaurants that you don't like, you stick to the good one. And Puskas is a great finisher. Now, although he hits the post just like Cantona sometimes, Puskas is still on a different level because when we compare their stats for the amount of games played, the goal difference is otherworldly. In the 6 games played, Eric Cantona ended up scoring 5 goals and 6 assists. And in the 6 games played, Forensics Puskas ended up scoring 14 goals and 1 assist. Now, seeing the stats, you might think Puskas is better, or you might think Cantona is better because he's getting assist and goal. But looky here, I have to let you know this first because this is not only a comparison, it's also a player review. Are these cards even worth it? Well, let's start with Cantona. Cantona, for me, using this card and playing with him, I would classify him in Midris. He can still give you some goals, but he's nothing special to me. I think I'd rather use some other striker option. I might even put him in mid because of his price. So Cantona is not for me, but he might be for you. Now, Forensics Puskas. What do I classify him as? I think that this card is wondrous. An amazing striker for me. I classify him as a top tier striker. Now, who do I think is better? Between the two, obviously, Puskas. But wait, this card right here may be able to help you out a lot. Find out if this card is wondrous, mid, or doo-doo.